So this was my very first teacher video, and it nearly didn't see the light of day. I'm kind of cringing a bit watching it back. But you know what? We all start somewhere. And today I want to share what I do differently now. If you're new here, I'm Joga Conga from ELT Training, and today I'm going back to my very first educational video and breaking down all the mistakes I made. Not to beat myself up, but because I know there's someone watching right now who's sitting there paralyzed by the same fears that nearly stopped me. This is for you. First up, I never showed my face, and I told myself it was because I wanted the content to speak for itself. But really, I was just terrified. I was worried about how I looked, too old, too fat, too wrinkly, and honestly, whether people would judge my appearance instead of listening to what I have to say. When I look back on this, I think I was being vain in the worst possible way. I was so focused on what I looked like that I forgot the whole point was connecting with people and helping them learn. So, something I've really realised is that learners connect with teachers and not just the content. They probably want to see the person behind the lesson. It's a really human desire. What do I do differently now? I put myself in the camera. I try to choose a good hair day, but I also try not to stress if it isn't, because being authentic beats perfection every time. Next up, those slides. Oh my goodness, those slides. I spent hours trying to make them look professional and then just let them sit there while I talked over them. I had some nice images. I did think about the visual impact of that, but I didn't include much movement, and I realise now that that's really key. What do I do differently now? Much more movement and animation. I try to interact with my content, use my body language, my hands, and include changing images and other video because I think that energy is contagious. And so, to be honest, is the lack of it. But here's the real reason that first video took me so long to post after I finished it. I didn't think I belonged on the internet. Even though I'd been teaching and training teachers for years, I somehow still didn't believe I had validity in a bigger public space. I kept thinking, who am I to think I know better than anyone else? I spent weeks second guessing every single point I made. I'd record again, delete again. It was pretty painful. What do I do differently now? A lot of people, and I hold my hand up here, never get over imposter syndrome completely. But what I remind myself is you don't need to know everything to help someone who knows less than you. Teaching isn't about being the ultimate expert, it's about being one step ahead and, I'm willing to share the journey. And then came the scary part, actually hitting post. I remember staring at that publish button, heart racing. What if people hated it? What if I got negative comments? What if everyone realised I was just making it up as I went along? I was so afraid of criticism that I almost let that fear stop me from helping people. And you know what happened when I finally posted it? The world didn't end. I got some nice comments, some constructive feedback, and most importantly, I probably helped a few people. So what do I do differently now? Look, practice makes all things easier, of course, but I also try to keep in mind that there are people out there that I can support, and that's all I'm offering. A bit of help. If they don't want it, that's fine. No problem. I've also learned two important lessons. the vast majority of people who don't like you just scroll past. And if they do leave negative comments that you feel aren't justified, or even frankly, if they are, you can just delete them. Looking back, that first video wasn't actually terrible, and people watched it. But I've definitely got better. And the big secret, as with all practical skills, is to just keep doing the thing. Don't worry too much about the result at first and enjoy the journey. And if you're watching this and you've been thinking about creating educational content, but you're too intimidated or too worried about not being perfect, too concerned about what people will think, I want you to know that your knowledge has value and your perspective matters, and someone out there needs exactly what you have to offer. And if you need a bit of help starting and a really wonderful, supportive community of like-minded people, check out my Video Creation for Educators program. The link's in the description. I hope to see you there.